Okay, so during the presentation, you mentioned that your advertising budget was what, 10% of what you used to have when you worked for American Airlines,
Yeah, I
right?
would I would say less than 10%,
Less
right?
than 10%. Okay, so tell me how social media is important as an advertising tool for you guys.
Well, I think first of all, the key thing to keep in mind is that we sell about 75% of our tickets through our own website. So a lot of our thinking is around how do we also optimize for natural search and things around that. So we get very focused on the social media. Our customer base is very involved in that area from Facebook and YouTube and all types of other things. So we make sure that we're watching what's going on. We've got interns, a lot of kids that live in that world that work for us that are watching it for us. And then, as I said before, on Twitter, the interesting thing there, of course, is it's very interactive and very real time. So we get a lot of good feedback from our customers. We make sure we're responsive, and that's really how we take advantage of that. And again, it's all about taking the limited marketing resources that we have as a small company and stretching that as far as possible.
And how do you know if it's working? How do you measure? Like, are there any kind of metrics, or do you
Well,
see a difference in sales based off when you have initiatives in social media?
Well, I would say a couple of things. First of all, we can certainly tell in terms of the natural search placement of our website and all of those things. So we certainly can go in and tell from web analytics and other things how well it's working from that standpoint. The other thing, in all honesty, though, is just tracking the number of Facebook friends we have, tracking the number of Twitter followers and things like that. And the little bit of leap of faith you have to make is that ultimately that's going to translate into dollars. We've made that leap of faith, and that's why we're supporting it.
Okay. And one more thing you said struck me as interesting, that you would be willing to pay Twitter to manage the traffic about the company. What would that be worth to a company?
Well, it's tough to say, and again, I think that was more in response to a question. But
Right.
one of the things that we wrestle with daily is the fact that we have all of this customer information and all of this customer feedback coming in, and our employee feedback coming in, and how do we get that into a manageable form where we can actually use it? And right now, the Twitter example I was giving was, someone tweets us about something, we tweet back, and that's kind of the end of it. And that's really not a scalable model going forward. And so we're just trying to get our arms around how do we take all of this customer interaction, get it into something that is actionable and useful going forward. So I don't know if I would pay the Twitter folks money to do that, but if someone figures out a way to do it, it's going to be worth a lot of money to a lot of people.
Great.